short video. I had a 7-day stretch of work. One of those was a training day, but the other 6 were, regular shifts. So, and it actually lined up perfectly with my off week. So how my training plan is set up is I go 3 weeks of load. So 3 weeks and slowly increase, add a little bit of volume, add a little bit of intensity. And then that 4th week, take it down as kind of a rest week, but I still do a lot. I can't remember exactly. I'll put it at the end of the video about my plan and like what I actually did for, times for each of the 3 disciplines plus strength training. But this video is going to be pretty short for the training because there wasn't much going on and I worked almost every day, so I didn't really feel motivated to film stuff before and after and try to get a lot of shots of me working out. But yeah, I hope you stay to the end because I'm going to talk about this exact week, about how to fit in the workouts and the time and efficiency of working out, especially as a triathlete when you're balancing 3 sports plus strength training and recovery and the mobility. So yeah, stick around. Enjoy. So originally for today, I had planned just a swim and a lift. Both the swim was about 30 minutes, lift was about 45. But with with grandma's in June, I really wanted to start ramping up the volume right now while keeping it at a low intensity, mostly zone 2 stuff. And so I've been adding in 1 to 2 runs per week. This one was only 20 minutes just because I worked today. I got off of work at 4:30 and I did the run. Went good. It was all zone 2, all easy effort, and it was 20 minutes. So it was pretty simple, not too long, just trying to add in a little more volume and get used to running more days per week. And then, so next I'm at the gym, gonna do a swim. The main set of this workout or the swim is 2 sets of 400, and then each 100 in that 400 is split up into a different drill. So this is a very technique focused or technique building type of workout. And these workouts, basically the goal of them is to build volume while working on that technique. So when you swim longer distances, your technique holds up over that distance. Same with running, same with biking. You want your form, or with a bike, you want your aero position to stay the same over that entire bike course. You don't want to be halfway through and then not be able to go into the aero because you haven't practiced it for a long duration or after fatigue. Anyway, the 2 sets of 400 is each 100. The first one is a vertical forearm, so working on that catch and working on pulling as much water as you can. The next one is paddles, so working on pulling as much water and using a lot of the muscles and not as much the cardiovascular. The third one is a catch-up drill, so working on that rotation and a little bit of the stability and the body position. And then the last one is an entry drill, so focusing on when our hand entering at the right distance in front of your head, but also not too far. And then when you get to that, when you enter, you want to stretch that arm out and turn to that side. And so these drills are basically working all around on the full swim stroke. So we finished the swim, did not get the lift in, which a little disappointed, but I think I should have room to move it till tomorrow. So we'll keep that as the plan. The swim went good. I mean, it was a shorter swim, but the technique work is really important, and I'm starting to notice like the difference in it and being able to hold that technique. And a lot of this catch stuff and working with the paddles has also made me notice the feel of the water and like really feeling how much water I'm pulling, which is a very big thing with swimming, is being able to feel yourself catching and then pulling off that water, not just like swinging your arm through the water, if that makes sense, which it probably doesn't. But the plan for tomorrow is to bike in the morning before I have a safety training type thing for work that's from 8 to 4. So the plan is to wake up at like 5:36, bike for an hour 10, then possibly run in the morning for 40 minutes. I'm not sure if it's a workout or if it's just an endurance zone 2 run, but obviously you'll see tomorrow. And then possibly lift. And if I can't get the run in the morning, I will do it after and then lift after the run. But we'll see how it shakes out. It should be a fun day. It should be, I think, my longest day this week. This week is pretty mellow for training. Like, my long ride is only an hour, 10 minutes. My long run is 45, or it might be an hour and a half, but that's because we're ramping up the run volume, like I said. So hopefully we'll be very well prepared for Grandma's Marathon. See you tomorrow. So the next section, I'm just going to talk about how to try and be efficient with your time so you can put in as much time into training without having it be your entire free time. So I like to break it down into 3 steps, or like to think about it in 3 different sections. So it's training efficiency first. So how much time you're spending around your workout and what you are doing before, after, to get ready for those workouts. So second is training timing. So when you're doing these workouts, and to time them and set up the workouts, so like threshold intensity workouts versus easy workouts, when to do them to recover the most so you can kind of compact some workouts into a small amount of time and get the most out of your training. And third and finally is adapting. So adapting to your work, your family, your school, whatever you have going on that's kind of preventing you, or in your mind is saying that, oh, I can't work out more because of this reason. Adapting to that reason and being able to train around it is a very good way to make sure you get a lot of training done and make sure your training is at least amount stressful so it doesn't become, your whole life. So for this discussion section, I'm going to try to use those 3 things I explained: the training efficiency, the training timing, and the adapting to life, and just try to give you some tips and show you how to implement that into your specific schedule, and not really give you a specific training plan or training schedule or exactly what to do, just some advice to work around your life, your work, and your school. So first up is training efficiency. So what I mean by training efficiency, which I kind of already said, is spending the least amount of time around, so before and after your workouts, for the amount of time you're working out. So what this can look like is, if you're training early in the morning, say you have a 6 a.m. workout and you're working out for 1 hour, instead of waking up at 5:30, going on your phone, then saying, oh crap, it's already 5:55, I haven't gotten ready, eaten, fueled, planned, or started any of my stuff, you get up, you try to get all that stuff done, so by 6 o'clock you are starting the workout and not starting to get ready for the workout. So that training efficiency is really about getting the most out of your workouts and spending the least amount of time outside of those workouts, like getting ready in an efficient amount of time, after the workouts, trying to take, showering, getting cleaned up, however that looks for you, and doing that as soon as you can and in the least amount of time possible. A couple of tips surrounding this are: have all your stuff set up. So some people, again, this doesn't work for everybody. This is just something to think about if this is an option for you. So my bike is always on the trainer. Now, it is winter, so that's part of the reason, but it's always on the trainer, and the monitor I use for Zwift / watching videos is on a desk right there. The fan, which you can see right there, is set up. They're all plugged in. They're not on. They're not wasting energy. But then I have my treadmill right there and ready to go. So everything here, obviously not the pool or lifting, but is set up so I can put on my stuff, hop on the bike, and I'm ready to go. And my second and kind of last tip, but these are pretty simple, is your fueling timing. So what this could look like if you have work is instead of getting home from work, relaxing, sitting on the couch, eating something, and then waiting, that 15, 30 minutes for it to settle a little bit, you could bring something to work. So you have a 15-minute drive, eat it in the parking lot before you leave, drive home. Then by the time you get home, you spend 5-10 minutes getting ready, getting onto the bike, getting onto the treadmill, and then you're ready to go and you're fueled properly, because you don't want to underfuel, especially if you're training for something like an Ironman. So the second part of the 3 is training timing. So what this looks like is thinking about when you're going to work out, the time in between your workouts, how many workouts you need to do a week, a day, and everything like that. So when to work out, this is the most ambiguous and specific to you. So work out when you can, find the time to work out, see what works for you. Just the best thing to do is just start, and say you throw a workout in after work, but then you figure out right after work doesn't work, but later in the evening works for you. Perfect. That's when you should schedule your workouts. Or say on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, the pool is open early enough where you can go swim, but on Tuesday and Thursday it isn't. So try to plan your swims around that pool schedule. Stuff like that about your training timing and when you do these workouts can really affect how much time you have outside of these workouts and can really affect that training efficiency. So if you're driving to the pool and you have to wait 30 minutes for the pool to open, or you're not getting that full workout in, and then you're spending time after the workout or in between workouts and wasting time where you could be training or spending time with your family, working, going to school. And with this training timing, it kind of brings up some stuff related to your training plan. I'm not going to go in depth on a plan, but a lot of plans have you doing doubles, which if you don't know what a double is, it's doing 2 workouts, typically of a different sport in the same day. A lot of people don't need to do doubles. If you start getting into the Ironman territory and even 70.3 Ironman, you might want to start looking into implementing doubles. But if you're doing sprint and Olympic triathlons, doubles are not necessary for you, because you can get a lot of stimulus and plenty of volume for that event in working out once a day. Now, working out once a day, the general structure is a 2, 2, and 2. So 2 swims, 2 bikes, 2 runs, and across those 6 days. And if you didn't know, there's 7 days in a week. So that includes 1 rest day. Now, this is very good for beginners, which this is catered to, because you only do 1 workout a day, so you don't have to worry about recovery or load for those workouts. Stuff like TSS, which if you have no idea what this means, you'll find out in a later video. But a lot of those things you don't have to worry about. So you can just do the 1 workout. If it works in the morning, if you miss the morning, then you can do it in the afternoon. But if you have doubles, a lot of the times you have to be very consistent and be able to hit those workouts when you can, or when you have to, like morning and night, not just one or the other. And then training timing, the last little tip is priority. So priority is what workouts you have to do. Now, there's no workout you have to do. You're doing this as a choice, but a lot of those priority are the main ones, I guess, of your priority are going to be at least 1 swim a week, and then your long bike and your long run. And the reason this is because those are mostly the race-like workouts that you're going to do. So your long swim, your long bike, your long run are usually, by the end of your training plan, going to be like that distance that you're doing in that event. Everything else kind of supplements and gets you ready for other aspects of it. So a marathon, if you're doing 1 run a week and you increase to that 26 miles and follow a plan, you're going to be probably able to do it, but it's going to hurt a lot and you're not going to have some of that resilience, but you can still do it just with that long run. I wouldn't recommend it. And that's why you add in those other runs, because it adds the volume to make that 4 hours or 5 hours, but 26 miles, 42 kilometers, very comfortable to you. And it really builds up the base of your training. So you can really work in those events and not just make it through. So the third part of this is adapting. So adapting means being able to work around your life, your schedule, and anything you have going on. So this could be work, school, family, events, emergencies, anything like that. A big part of this is being able to change around your schedule or being flexible with it. Now, this is going to be very individualistic to you because I have no idea what your work schedule looks like, what your family time or family life looks like, or home life. But having a training plan that is very flexible is right for some people. So for me, I have a job where I work switch shifts, days and nights. I get different days off every week, and even in the future months, it's going to be even more different of what days I have off, what days I work, and stuff like that. So for me, something that is very flexible is very helpful. I'm going to cut to showing you why I use Human Go, which I'll do a video on later about that whole platform and that whole training plan and why I chose to go with it. But this is one of the main reasons, and you'll see that now. So part of adapting is being able to use a program or a training plan that really suits you. So if you have a very basic Monday through Friday 9 to 5 schedule, then having something like just a pre-made PDF training plan for free on the internet can work for you. In my situation, I had a lot of shifts that switched and a lot of variability in my schedule, and even in the upcoming months I'll have more of that where I have to move a lot of workouts around. I can't do my long rides and long runs Sunday and Saturday. So a great example of that and why I choose Human Go, and I'll go more into depth. This is just a little sneak peek. So basically I can go into this tab and set my availability for every single week. So as you can see on the screen, it has every day, has if I want to take a rest day, I can do the total minutes, the different workouts. I can set my long days. So on days that I work weekends, I do a Wednesday and Thursday long day. I can change like how many workouts I do. As you can see, there's a lot of like the recovery. So which weeks specifically are meant for recovery, the number of each discipline of workout I want to do, the number of hours, the week, and you can even do a training camp if you have like a week off or time to do that. So yeah, you're very flexible in that schedule, and that works very well for me. If you have a very set schedule and it's the same week to week, a fixed PDF plan is a lot cheaper and a lot more flexible to you. So deciding which range you want to be on is very good. Now, probably the best end is having a coach because they can work specific situations, whereas a free PDF set plan, you have to kind of write it down, switch it around, and do stuff with it to make it work for you. But yeah, you want to find something on that scale of set in stone and very, very flexible that works for you and works for your schedule and also works in your budget, because the more you go this way towards being very, very flexible and individual to you, usually the price goes up. So another part with adapting and changing around your schedule is doubles, like I mentioned with the training timing, and double and triple workout days and rest days. So doubles, and like I said, it's very individualistic to you and what you have going on and how you're able to work in the sport and in yourself. So figuring out if you can do doubles, if you need doubles based on your distance, I would say 70.3 up probably, and anything below that, they're helpful, but they're not necessary. And also rest days. My philosophy on rest days is doing them when you can and when you feel like it. So I don't plan any of my rest days. My rest days come naturally. So if I work a night shift, I sleep in, wake up at around noon, 1 o'clock, and I'm just tired, had a hard shift and maybe a hard workout the day before, and all I had planned was a bike, I'll move it to tomorrow, or I'll plan it to the next day. Or if you have a family event, use that day as a rest day. Don't try to fit in a 20-minute workout and be very crammed and very stressed and not be able to focus on your workout or your family event. So working in those rest days is not as much a set in stone thing, and you want it to be very flexible and take them when you need them, because in my opinion, taking a rest day, just a set in stone one, can be very helpful, but it doesn't sit well with me. I like to work out and I do this because it's fun. So having those flexible rest days is really for when you're fatigued or tired. So to recap, those three things are training efficiency, training timing, and adapting to life. And those three things are very crucial to having a healthy relationship with the sport of triathlon and are very individual to you and your life and your specific goals. So you can go back and check the tips, write them down, and try to implement them and use them to work your specific event and training plan. And that's the whole idea of this video, is not to necessarily give you a set in stone, here's the plan, here's how to work around that. It's more to give you ideas on what to do and how to work around your life and make it so you have a good relationship with the sport, you have fun with the sport, because that is overall the most important part, is that you have fun with it. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you at least learned a little something from this. And if you did, let me know. And I think the totals will pop up now, and I'll see you next week.